First things first, guys. How are you?
Oh,
Good.
we're slightly hungover.
How come?
Because last night was our first night in Amsterdam, and this is your first time here, right?
Yeah.
Have you been here before?
No.
He was sick last night, so
We drank for him.
we wanted to feel as bad as Jess did, so we went out drinking and
Level the playing field.
yeah,
as they
we
say.
leveled it. Yeah, we
And it worked?
we walked. It's such a beautiful city. I mean, it's just such a pleasure just to walk at, especially at night. The city it's really stunning. All the crooked buildings. You know, I was really stoned as well, so I couldn't. You know,
The buildings were straight, but he was stoned. So
He was missing a shoe.
Oh, so you had a good time. That's good.
We did. We had a little bit of an art incident. Went to a restaurant, and Cameron and our drummer started. He played piano while Cameron painted, and apparently, this is a true story. They had a piano, and they had kind of like a living room set up in this restaurant.
right.
But
And
apparently,
playing canvas with acrylics.
playing canvas with acrylic.
So
Everybody just sitting there.
there.
Robbie started playing Leon Russell, and Cameron started painting. It's a beautiful painting. I have it.
Okay.
It's gorgeous, but apparently they don't appreciate freeform art willy nilly. So
Yeah, the head waiter was less than
Bob
Bob. That was his real name.
Bob goes, Bob. I confronted him and I said, Bob, listen, man, an empty piano is meant to be played. A blank canvas is meant to be painted. My friends, they are artists.
Why
and
was-
that's all they were doing. And
Why
you were
was
really
there-
rude to them. You owe them an apology. So Bob walks over to Cameron and to Robbie, and he goes,
I'm sorry, I was being a bitch. I was like, oh my god, I'm so
sorry, this is a true story last night. Anyhow, back to the questions.
Okay, so what I wanted to start with a great introduction, I think. So before we get into the music, I'd like to jump back to the beginning a little bit, because you all knew each other here and there and played in a couple of bands with each other, and then finally kind of this idea of Midland came up. Do you remember what kind of unified this band where the other ones kind of didn't work out?
Well, there was an experience for sure that happened. It was the first time that we got together for this band. We came together to record. So instead of getting together to jam in someone's garage or basement, we came together and recorded. So, you know, and we paid for these recordings. So it was, you know, we were diligent and focused and needed to work through communication issues and stuff like that. So you learn to become a band pretty quickly together in that week that we were there recording in West Texas. But also I think that overall over the last few years we've come to realize that the reason why this band works and the other ones didn't is because there's three of us now as opposed to two of us before, you know, and three is a democratic way. It's easier to resolve issues and work past conflict, and also to, you know, there's one extra guy in the reserves when, you know, someone gets sick, or, you know, it's more of a group effort this time going around, and we have a very focused path, you know, or at least an idea of what we wanted to do from the very beginning.
Yeah, when did it matter?
Extremely professional.
When did it manifest itself? Was it in kind of the music and in kind of your collective?
Yeah, we all moved to Texas, so that was the first like manifestation of following the dream, you know. And from there, we started playing music live and rehearsing 7 days a week for hours and hours and hours a day. And so it was just kind of, it's really about setting a goal and doing whatever it takes to reach that goal. You know, that's manifestation, you know.
What made you go for Texas? Because I believe you grew up in Oregon.
Jess was living there. We had all moved out to Los Angeles originally for music, and the scene was not.
It's just different.
Fruitful. It's just not. And Jess was out there. I mean, Texas is such. It's such a healthy environment for young bands, because there's such a ferocious appetite for live music there.
It's ferocious, man. These guys are frothing at the
It is,
mouth.
yeah. I mean, it really is compared to anywhere else in the world. It's amazing.
People like live music is part of everything there.
It's
So if you go to the
live
grocery
music
store,
capital.
there's people playing
Yeah.
music, there's a stage. So there's a venue everywhere you go. It's actually, so as a young band, you can get a gig doing just about anything.
And particularly country music is, Texas is, I mean, it's like the Mecca for it. And Jess was already out there, and when we started, it made sense. The band really formed out in West Texas, and Jess refused to move back to LA, so we didn't really have a choice.
Everyone, I think we were all ready.
But we'd already failed in LA, so it was like, and LA is such a hard place to, people don't go to shows in LA the same way that they do in Texas, and it's harder to just get your foot in the door, which is counterintuitive. A lot of people think that you should go to LA to get a record deal and all this stuff, but it's actually more difficult.
Do country music, I mean, particularly, there's such a wide swath of talent out there,
Mm-hmm.
and if you want to be the best, you should go be surrounded by the best, and that's what we did, and it makes you grow, and it makes you strive to improve greatly.
And then you mentioned that there's a very healthy live music culture, and then I heard you say once that if you can't do it live, you're not the real deal, or you ain't the real deal.
I mean, for us, the people and the bands and the artists that we look up to, it's kind of the holy trinity, right? It's the songwriting, it's the producing, the recording, and then it's the performing of it. And if you can't do that, then to me, it's not really, you're not a musician. You're not, I don't know. For us, it's just I don't know any other way.
It's part of our DNA. We like to play live.
Right.
Some bands don't. It's not part of their career path. Ours is to be great entertainers. We want that.
And so that maybe that first 6 months or first year in Texas, what was that like? What do you remember of playing those gigs?
Playing in honky tonks.
So much fun. I mean, we were just, we were doing it ourselves. We were booking the shows.
There were small landmarks that we hit, that we thought were so big at the time, and they were. The first time we were able to play certain honky tonks like the Broken Spoke in Austin, which we had to start out playing in the restaurant part of it, and then we were able to play in the dance hall, and but yeah, we were playing 3-hour sets a night, and you're essentially the house band when you get booked in a honky tonk.
We were exploring and learning about the band, and we would do something and get a reaction, and the audience would either laugh or they'd really dig it, and we'd be like, oh, remember that.
Or they wouldn't
remember when
laugh.
you did that, or they wouldn't laugh.
Like the Elvis joke.
Failed jokes.
But it was actually, man, I mean, I look back on that as such a fun and vibrant time because we were really working out our sound and really finding which songs, which material really worked, and which songs when we played them live. Sometimes you write a song and then you go and arrange it and you play it live for 6 months and you realize that doesn't feel quite right. The tempo's not right. It's really missing this. And it's exciting when you're working really hard, but you're progressing really fast. And that's what we were doing. We were really solidifying. And those, we'll look back as those as such kind of fruitful days, because we were working hard, man.
Right.
We were rehearsing every day, working on the harmonies every day, writing, booking our own shows, driving to their own shows, hauling our own gear, man. It was pretty wild. It was fun though.
Was there a turning point in that respect then, where you thought you had found kind of what you were looking for, the sound in terms of maybe there was a song or a style of songwriting?
Drinkin Problem, when we wrote that was something that we built we wrote a lot around that song. It was a high water mark for us as songwriters, and writing together. It was one of the first times we actually wrote together, the three of us. We're still evolving though, so
There's always
always a new sound that
you're always searching, you're always hearing new things and being inspired by new things. The three of us, we're such music lovers that we're always looking for rare music and trying to find someone from the 70s that we've never heard before or whatever, and sharing it with each other and getting inspired by that. So, I mean, the sound is always going to evolve.